although the sewers are next, there's one more room left in the police station that I cannot skip over. During the B campaign, playing as either Claire or Leon, you have access to a hallway that you don't have access to otherwise. It's on the east side and leads to the basement without having to use Chief Iron's shortcut. In the original title, this hallway is destroyed, with every window shattered and nothing but darkness flowing in from the outside. The walls are a strange green colour, highlighting the strange art style and again looking rather reminiscent of the original Resident Evil's mansion. At the end of the hallway lays a stairwell to the basement section, as well as one more door at the end of this corridor. Inside this door is another strangely decorated room, with the walls covered in green wallpaper as well as a beige ceiling underneath. The wallpaper actually contrasts to the lockers incredibly well, with both being the same shade of green. Now inside the corner of this room lays a dead body. His throat and abdomen have been torn out. An oddly specific description for a random dead body. Next to his corpse on the bunk bed lays a diary entry, titled Watchman's Diary. This incredibly well written diary details the descent into madness and sickness of a man who was obsessed with chess pieces, and even tries to explain why there's a door locked that requires chess pieces in the first place. It also states that the man was itchy, and a very clear nod to the itchy and tasty note found in the original game. It's quite the read. The file points the player toward the blue stone piece, or the night plug hidden in the cog room. It also explains the purpose of the lock in the septic tank room and how to unlock it using the remaining plugs. In the remake, honestly, they did a good job. It's almost identical to how it looks in the original, same style of wallpaper, though the windows aren't cracked, but there's still time for that. The room itself, again, looks incredibly close to what we saw in the original. The only thing that stands out is how the lockers are now a bright blue instead of green, kind of ruining the aesthetic of the room. Otherwise there's one new detail added, that being an Arkley Sheriff's hat on the table inside. Besides this though, I wish I had no complaints about this room, but the body's gone. The note is missing. How? Why? Why remove this incredible piece of lore? I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense. At least put something there to replace this piece of lore, to try and make sense of the remake's new series of events. But that's it for the police station. Every single room covered and analysed in this series, but now it's finally time to escape the police station, once and for all. To begin the sewer section, we're going to start by following in Leon's footsteps in the remake. See, after dealing with Kendo, Leon and Ada make their way through the gun store and through to a shortcut that leads directly into the sewers by the main street. For this whole section we're actually following around Ada, or having her follow us. This kinda calls back to a section in the 98 original which plays out relatively the same way, just with much more sass.
I was there, Leon. I know.
Okay?
Alright. We'll do this your way, for now.
Now what comes next is something that originally I really hadn't expected to have to deal with this early. It's the Alligator fight. Now I say fight, it's more of a Resident Evil 6 style, run of the camera, Crash Bandicoot kind of affair, with next to no major impact on the story as a whole. This Alligator fight placed here at the beginning of the sewer section, instead of being a climatic end, is so over incredibly quickly, it requires little to no input from Leon. Though with something so large I do wonder how else a fight like this could have played out.
Ugh. You sure this is the right way?
Unfortunately.
Wait there.
Leon! Get out of there!
Holy shit! Chew on that, you overgrown son of a bitch.
Contrast to the original, where the fight has an actual impact on gameplay, where you can take damage, be killed easily, or even wounded. This is a very quick, if it gets you, it's over kind of thing. My main distaste for this battle is how Claire has no interaction with the Alligator at all in her A or B scenarios, and was even a question I had at the end of my time playing Claire A. On top of that, its involvement in the remake creates more questions than answers, the main one being, why? Why is the Alligator the only boss to make it through into the remake? What I mean by that is, there's no other giant animals or creatures in the remake itself. There's no giant spiders, no giant moths. The G-Virus only mutates this one specific monster and nothing else. Isn't that a little strange? Even the dogs are normal size.
Identify yourself.
Annette Birkin.
She's who we're looking for?
Not much time. Need to dispose of it.
We're here for the G-Virus.
That's not gonna happen.
I'm warning you, Doctor.
Oh yeah?
Hey!
Stop!
You'll never get the G-Virus!
Didn't expect that from a scientist. Leon.
Forget about me. Just go. Stop her before she gets away.
This cutscene is an excellent recreation of what came before and actually adds so much to Annette, Ada and Leon's characters, and is an excellent example of some of the things that this remake did correctly, most importantly adding to Annette Birkin's character. See, in the original title, Ada straight up leaves Leon to die on the floor after taking 2 bullet wounds to the chest, whereas in the remake Ada actually sees to Leon's wounds before leaving him in an unconscious state. What follows in the second of Ada's sections in the original title, though the first and only section here in the remake, this whole part is incredibly linear and resembles much more of what the Resident Evil 3 remake turns into, with a set path and set goals to play out. There's a quick reference to the giant cockroaches found in the original title, but apart from that, this segment is its fairly own piece of gameplay, following Ada around with her futuristic tech that can turn on and off power points through the walls in 1998. Now, outside of a few visual similarities, these segments are incredibly different from one another. The only thing slowing us down in this part are the zombies and Ada's incredibly weak pistol, which takes a crazy amount of bullets to kill a single zombie. The next environment is entirely its own entity as well, and isn't a simple run through the sewers like we find in the original title. The peak of this segment is when Ada climbs into a trash furnace in order to retrieve an ID wristband needed to open up a door, though ends up trapped inside by Annette Birkin.
Bravo. Gonna burn me alive now?
You'll never get your filthy hands on the G.
I'm not the only one after it. You realize that?
And you won't die alone.
Now, after Ada escapes this, she emerges into a room that does resemble one of the rooms from the original title. In fact, it's fairly close to the room where Ada and Annette have their own conversation originally as well, though this time with much more explanation on the G-Virus, and even shows Ada getting injured, forced to wait for Leon to rescue her.
Enough with this cat and mouse game.
The game is over. You lost.
Tell me, is your husband still alive? Or did you kill him so you could take credit for G?
Interesting theory.
If you don't cooperate, I'll get a sample from the nest.
Over my dead body.
Don't move. You're the one who was with that cop, if I'm not mistaken. Identify yourself.
Ada? Ada Wong.
Ada Wong. I've heard that name before. Now I remember. One of the men from Chicago who came to assist the T-virus research used his girlfriend's name as his password. Ada and John, I believe.
How did you know? Who are you?
Annette Birkin. My husband is the man responsible for the creation of the T-virus. William Birkin.
What?
John's dead. He became one of those zombies. My condolences. And although I regret this, you will be joining him shortly. I won't let anyone take the G-virus away from me.
G-virus?
It's capable of creating the ultimate bioweapon. Its potential is even greater than that of the T-virus.
Then that must mean the creature in the police department is...
Precisely. My husband, William. And it's all Umbrella's fault. None of this would have happened if they hadn't tried to steal his research away from him. Where did you get that pendant? It looks exactly like the one I gave Sherry.
She dropped it. I've been holding on to it for her.
Liar! Give it back to me!
Too bad.
Hilariously, in the original title, if the alligator was killed by Claire in her A scenario, there's no alligator here to injure Ada, so she just kind of stands and waits.
Claire, are you all right? Can you hear me? Claire? Claire, you have to get up. He's going to get us. Wake up! Wake up!
Wake up. Wake up. Open your eyes. Hold still. Not infected. Sherry?
Where's Sherry?
Sherry's fine.
Do you know Sherry?
It's an impressive display of strength.
What happened to her?
We have to assess the situation.
Who are you? I'm Claire.
I didn't foresee this.
Excuse me. Where is she? Hello?
What?
Where's she?
Annette. Tell me, what happened to William?
I don't know. Who's that?
The creature responsible for this.
What? Can you help me find Sherry?
Seems to be evolving much faster than expected.
Where are you going?
Look, I don't have time to play 20 questions. Everything's under control.
I need to find Sherry.
My daughter is not your concern.
Sherry's her daughter?
As we cut back to Claire's A scenario, we find that these two
Where did
parts
Sherry
do
go?
actually fit together quite well, with Annette stumbling onto Claire's landing place, questioning what happened to her husband, instead being focused on her work and assessing the situation instead of being concerned about the well-being of her child.
Who are you? Oh, I see. Another spy sent by Umbrella, right? Let me guess. You're here to steal my husband's G-virus, aren't you? You are tenacious, I'll give you that.
Husband? Then you must be Annette. Sherry's mother?
What?
Sherry's wandering around alone in the sewers. You have to help me find her.
That's impossible. I told her to go to the police station. What's she doing here? William will be after her.
William?
That's right. The creature that's been causing all this destruction is none other than my own husband.
This way.
It's sheer perfection. My precious G-Virus. No one will ever take you away from me.
There he is.
So you finally come.
Doctor, we're here to collect the G-Virus sample.
Sorry, but I won't just hand over my life's work.
Stop! You might hit the sample. That's it, all right. Okay, let's move out.
William. Oh my. Hold on, darling. I'm taking care of that bullet wound first. Stay here.
Alpha team, have you retrieved the sample yet?
Affirmative. We'll be at the rendezvous point in 1 minute.
Roger.
Are you telling me that he injected the G-Virus into his own body?
The G-Virus has the ability to revitalize cellular functions.
What was that? Something's wrong. Let's check it out. Over there! Shoot it! Eat this, you freak! The guns aren't stopping it! What is this thing? Hurry! What is this thing? Fire! Fire! You son of a...
So those rats were the carriers of the virus?
As a result of his virus-induced transmutation, William should have lost any prior memories he had as a human by now. I tried to save him, but I'm afraid it's already too late.
But...
And that's not even the entire story. Every G-Virus bioweapon, including William, has the ability to implant embryos into other life forms. That's why he's after Sherry.
what are you trying to say?
The bodies of individuals with non-related genetic coding are likely to reject the embryo. But since Sherry is his daughter, that possibility is non-existent. It's an inherent survival instinct.
It's Sherry! You go that way.
Got eyes on the G-Virus.
We're going in. Dr. Birkin, you'll come along with us quietly.
You think I didn't know you were coming? This is my life's work. I'm not handing over anything.
We have our orders, Dr. Birkin. I'll ask you one more time. Hold your fire! What the fuck were you thinking? Our orders were to bring him in alive. We're in, sir. But we had a snafu. Target resisted. We had to take him out. That's correct, sir. Roger that. Just the samples, then. Let's move.
So those were G samples. Please. Oh, please, stop. Stop. No, 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 no. Over here, you freak! Don't hurt him.
Glad I watched that.
How about you, Barry?
Whoa! I have this!
Thank you, Barry.